Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me again. My name is Wilky and we're gonna take a look at the next Battlerite champion. Today we are going to take a look at Pearl, the Ocean Sage. Now this is where my knowledge gets a bit limited as well. I'm not entirely sure if there's a counterpart of that champion in Bloodline Champions, but it shall not matter. We're just gonna take a look at her skill set anyway. So for her first ability, we have Volatile Water, which deals 14 damage. Should your staff be charged by a numerous amount of effects, then it'll deal 22 damage and also silence the opponent. So her regular attack is going to be looking like that, and should your staff be charged, as I said, there's multiple ways to do that. Your staff will be starting to glow in this purplish color. Also, your projectile will be changed to this purple color, dealing 22 damage and also silencing the opponent. Her right click is Healing Wave, which basically heals the enemy in rapid succession 3 times of ticks of 7 each over the course of 40 or 0.45 seconds. So this is kind of a bit different because usually the healers either have one big chunk of a heal or heal over time. However, Pearl has these 3 little bursts, and you can probably see that if I change my mouse a bit, that there's like 3 healing bursts in a very short amount of time. Her spacebar is Dive, where she basically dives into the water and then submerges somewhere else. Very cool feature about this is that she'll deal damage at the place where she dives in. So if you're next to an enemy, this will deal damage. Also, unlike fixed escapes, you can actually choose almost completely free where you want to go as well as the distance. However, it's not the furthest distance you will be able to cover with this, so keep that in mind that you're not able to escape or outrun enemies quite well. However, having the ability to do just short hops or even basically just doing it almost at the same spot gives you a very good mobility tool. Her Q ability is Tidal Wave, which works pretty much just like any other counter. In case of triggering, it'll heal herself and it'll charge your staff. It'll also knock back enemies. Not sure if I can show this. Alright, there we go. It'll knock the enemies away, heal you for 16 health and deal 16 damage to the enemy. And as I said initially, it'll charge your staff, so it'll deal 22 damage afterwards. Her E ability is Bubble Barrier, where she spawns basically a bubble at a target location. Enemies who enter this area will be slowed quite heavily. Projectiles will be slowed, however not reflected. That means that eventually they will be passing through. As you can see, the projectile is slowed, but as soon as this bubble depletes, all these projectiles will carry on their natural travel. And as you might have noticed, that this one actually knocks back enemies, and not only enemies, also herself. So this can be also used to reposition yourself at least slightly should there be imminent danger or something you want to avoid but you don't have your spacebar ready. This can be used to slightly alter your position in a very fast and rapid way. As I said, it also slows the enemy, so you can see that this one is quite slower as soon as he enters the bubble. Going over her X abilities. Her first X ability basically charges her staff in 0.9 seconds, consuming 25 energy in the process, giving you basically a free 22 damage hit. Her second X ability is going to change Bubble Barrier into Unstable Barrier, which then deals 26 damage, and it'll, as soon as it explodes, it'll change to a red bubble, and as you can see, it deals a pretty good amount of damage. However, it doesn't deal any damage as long as the enemies just pass through or something, so they will have to be inside or very close to the barrier in order to actually have it deal damage. However, it can be a very good tool, and similar to the other bubble that the protects, as you can see, projectiles and stuff will be slowed as well as the enemies. So this is basically a double-sided skill. It's not only offensive but also defensive, just like the regular version. And for her ultimate, which is Jaws, where she summons a giant shark in a relatively large area, which looks like this. Whoops, I actually spawned 2. And you can see these 4 or 3, my bad, crosses or axes. And that is basically, should you be able to catch an enemy with the initial summon of Jaws, they will be then caught within him for a good amount of time, 3.4 seconds, there it is. And after that, they will be spit out, dealing another 20 damage to the targets caught within, and also do the landing area. So this is a very, very long CC, And as you can see, these axes, or in this case this axe, will actually mark where the enemy will be landing. And you can also change the direction of where the enemy is gonna be. So let's just take a look once more. And let's say we're just gonna want to get him away even further. So we're just gonna realign this and deal damage to enemies around him. This sums it up for Pearl's Spotlight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and also hopefully you see you guys in the next Champion Spotlight for Battlerite.